Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of What Now? I am still here and we are still going. It's still a pandemic, but today we actually opened up over here somewhat. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the world will move, but I will still keep going with these lives and inspiring and motivating people. Oh my gosh, I am so tired today. So yes, this is Pay Fresh with the fresh outfits, but today not so fresh face. I had to put some makeup on there. I'll make it work. But yeah, I'm super tired. We should get some nice weather. I need some vitamin D. I need some sunshine. But I also need a social life. I've been in this house for way too long. And big ups to my family jumping in. I appreciate everybody for the support. What's up, PJ? What's up, Jimmy, Jamal? I see y'all. Breakbeat Lou. Ooh, yeah, Breakbeat Lou is going to be a guest this month as well. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of interesting guests coming this next couple of weeks even. I'm booked up until like somewhere in April. But today I have an amazing guest by the name of TINAMINA, and I see she's already in here. For those who don't know her, stay watching because this woman is amazing. I am going to get her in here so we can just get started. Let me see. Here we go. If you have any questions. Oh, well, Miss TINAMINA, it says you must upgrade your app in order to join. So there's that. Oh, what's up, Kim James? I thought you had your own live going on, but yeah. Jamal, okay, I see you with your Dutch lessons. Miss TINAMINA, I can't have you in here because it says you need to upgrade your app before you can join. So I'm not sure if you have another device or if you can just upgrade Instagram or something. I don't know. It says upgrade the app, I think. Let me see. What does it say exactly? It says, yep, you must upgrade your app. So you gotta download the newest version of Instagram. Don't worry, she'll be back. So in the meantime, TINAMINA is based in LA. She is the dopest singer-songwriter there is. She's had several of hits outside the country, inside the country. She's worked with a lot of K-pop singers and bands. She's done amazing work in Portugal. She's had several publishing deals with Warner, I think it was Sony. A lot of people. So if you don't know about her, this is a woman who's pretty much moving behind the scenes. She knows pretty much everybody that you need to know as far as producers. Producers who worked with Britney, with a lot of people. Anyway, I want her to do her own story. But yeah, she's going to upgrade the app. James, thank you so much. I appreciate you. For people that know King James Worthy, go check out the live I did with him. And since I have y'all attention, I know most of the people that are tuned in right now are people that love and support me, and I appreciate you guys. But yeah, I've been getting hit up by artists that wanna be on my live. They want to use my audience. And here's some advice for those who are watching now. If you think you have what it takes to be on my platform, please support me as well. I haven't seen you like any of my lives, my interviews. I haven't seen you share the love. I haven't seen you follow me. So yeah, it's cool and all that you want to use my platform and you think it's great. But do you really think it's great? Because you're not supporting me. I love supporting artists. This is why I do what I do. I will always support artists. But it's nice to get some support from the artist back. Yes, James, you're one of the greatest artists because you support me. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of people that are now suddenly onto my little live, which is also not a platform to promote artists. This is a platform to inspire and to motivate. So if you have a story, sure. But if you're just doing what you do around the block, yeah, no offense, but keep working on your journey. Get your support, get your team, get your story, and then we'll continue to build and see what I can do for you. As we are waiting on Miss TINAMINA to upgrade the app, Lydiana, yeah, Liddy is hardworking. Liddy is working, so I will relay the message to Liddy. For those who don't know who Lydiana is one of the dopest people in my life. She's an influencer, a singer, an entrepreneur, businesswoman, And yes, so I did a live with her in January. Go check that out. Ah, Miss TINAMINA is back. Let me see. Yes, I can get her in here. Thank you, because now I don't have this monologue that I absolutely hate, but I'm starting to get good at it. Hi, Kim. Hi, Box. It's nice to see you guys in here. Old school crates from the UK. Yes, there she goes. All right.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Okay, here we go. All right.
Hey, Miss TINAMINA.
How's it going?
It's good. Oh, that's the little doggy, huh?
We have a disgruntled customer here. Okay,
What's going on, doggy? You want to be on? What's his name again?
This is Tucker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
You okay now?
Yeah?
He likes
You got your 5 minutes to shine?
He's very spoiled. He likes to sit on me all day, every day. So he's
like,
been
Mommy's got to do an interview. Wait, I got to be in it.
He's super comfortable during this quarantine. Gets to sit on me every day. Let me see if I can.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. You know what? I just realized I haven't seen you in almost 2 years.
I know.
Time flies. Time flies.
I know.
It's insane. But you are such a busy lady. Like, you keep working. You're one of the hardest working women in the industry. You just keep busting out the songs. And
thank you.
Yeah, so you know, the reason for this What Now series is to inspire and motivate people, and I really thought I needed you on. First of all, I don't have a lot of women. For some reason, the women don't get back to me.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't like the platform. Maybe they're too busy. But I really want to inspire people with everybody that I think is inspiring and has a story to tell. And what you've been doing ever since I met you, I was just so impressed with everything you do and how you move. Mainly, that's one of the things that I think is important for people to understand, that there are certain ways to go about it in this industry without having to be famous or known. But the platform was born out of the pandemic. So my first question is, how has the pandemic affected you personally and professionally?
I know a lot of my friends, and they lost a lot of their loved ones. So I haven't personally, but I know that a lot of my family was scared about the pandemic because they had existing health issues and things like that. So I'm trying to be really mindful of the fact that there's been a lot of loss, especially in the United States. And I'm trying to be mindful of that. The I guess kind of silver lining is that because of the pandemic, I've been able to meet a lot of people online, kind of through these Zoom sessions, and just kind of connect in a new way online. So I think in some way it hasn't stopped me from meeting people and connecting and networking. Let me try to get a better
angle.
There we go. Okay, so let me try to get a better angle for you guys so that I don't have to hold this thing. Hold on. I'm sorry. I thought
you thought you had it together?
I had it all set up, and then you were like, "Oh, the app don't work." Okay, hold on. Okay.
Yeah, it just gave me that. It gave me that message. So
I think this is better, kind of. All right.
Yeah. But we see half of you.
Okay, let's see. What could I put this on?
Yeah, you know what? I actually invested in one of those little tripod thingies for the phone.
Because, so this is kind of like a stand, but it just doesn't go high enough, so it's like an awkward kind of height.
Right. We gotta work with what we got.
I'm gonna try to. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I had it all set up, and then
no worries. Don't. You know what? This is freestyling. Yeah, there we go. Yes,
it's better. Okay.
Yes. So you found a new way to Okay, Tucker.
Tucker says hi.
So yeah, you found a new way of connecting to people.
I did. It was a new way to kind of connect to people, and you know, meet people that I hadn't met before. You know, I've developed, you know, working relationships with people online now.
Yeah.
That, you know, and I haven't even met them in real life yet, you know, so I'm happy to, like, you know, hang out with them and meet them, you know, and they're far, you know,
Right,
so it's
right.
not, you know, so it's been really interesting. That's how it's affected me personally. I've started recording more of my own music.
Right.
Because when the pandemic started, I stopped doing sessions, studio sessions,
Mm-hmm.
and I mainly moved everything to online or by myself. So
Right.
I'm either doing sessions with people online or just recording by myself. I actually bought a really nice microphone,
Microphone,
because
yeah.
I was like, you know what, I want to upgrade. I had a really good mic to begin with, but I was like, I want to upgrade my situation because you know, it's gonna it's gonna
Yeah,
be
you have
a
nothing
lot
else
of
to
me.
do.
So I haven't released anything with this new mic yet, but it's gonna be coming. Like,
Oh, I'm happy. So, you know, I do have this way of asking questions, but because I am also kind of catching up with you, I know that when I met you, I've heard all this music from you. Are you re-recording some of the stuff that you've already done but haven't released yet, or is it going to be all new?
I think, well, actually, it's a combination. There's some new stuff. There are some songs that I wrote for other artists, with other artists in mind, but they went a different direction, and I still really liked it. So, you know, I would still tweak it kind of to fit me,
Right.
and then put it out because I still like it. Hey, I wrote
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't like it, I still like it. So, you know,
Right.
things like
Don't let
that.
it go to waste.
Right. Don't let it live on that hard drive. So,
Right.
and all creators, I think, are very guilty of that. Like, I
Yeah.
know every creative I know has like stacks of, like, you know, unreleased material on their
Yes.
hard drive, and I'm trying to get out of that and you know, release more things starting this year.
So during the pandemic, have you noticed any changes or have you made any changes for your routines in health, like physically and mentally?
You know, I would say that's something that I kind of want to work on now, because before the pandemic, um, I was like getting more into like trying to get into a routine and like exercising and things like that. And I'm very guilty of gaining weight during the pandemic,
Right.
and just kind of adjusting to being really, you know, sedentary at home. So that's something that is an area that I'm going to start working on. But I think my health went down over the pandemic. Um, I haven't been, you know, exercising as
Right.
much. Um, you know, food scarcity is not a thing. The refrigerator is like right there. You know,
Right.
if you're in sessions and stuff, and the sessions are like 4 or 5 hours long, like you tend to like not eat anything during the
Right.
session, or maybe
Right.
like drink something, or maybe have a little snack. But now it's just like, hey, what's in the fridge? So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to stop that. And yeah, I've been watching these days I've been watching a bunch of like personal motivation, you know, like
Right.
self, you know, to get me back into like the motivated spirit and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of people that I talked to had to actually already change their routine because, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people that I talk to are touring people, so they can
Yeah.
sit still and actually, you know, get good sleep and good food. But for
Mm-hmm.
people that are used to being in long sessions, like you said, you know, and just working and now sitting at home, having the cravings more and just, you know, it's easier to grab food and just sit still. But yeah, I can see that that could be a change for you. Do you think you can keep up with that change once the world opens up? I mean, it'll be easier for you because you're going into sessions again. Or don't you think that's going to stay more of a digital thing? Because we're so used to now doing digital sessions and stuff.
I still think that when it opens up more, I'll be doing more sessions. Maybe not as much as before, possibly, because a lot of things can be done
Right.
But I think there's still a magic to being in the room and
Right.
creating together and catching a vibe, you know? So not to say that you can't do that online. You'd be surprised like how much you can get done online.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. I mean, it cuts down on travel time and things like that.
Yes.
So, which saves a lot of time, I think.
Yeah.
But
especially
overall,
in LA.
right, yeah. But I mean, I think as far as health wise, I want to try to build up some kind of routine in the house that I can get used to. Actually, I bought like a walking treadmill.
Oh, cool.
And then but I was deciding between two. One was like flat and one had the like incline.
Yeah.
So I got the one with the incline because it was like
supposed
to burn more calories.
Yes.
But then the incline is weird and it hurts your back. So
that's not good.
Yeah. So I either have to get over it and get used to it, or so that's
maybe it hurts your back because your back is being trained as well.
Maybe.
You should ask a trainer if your posture on that thing is correct.
Yeah.
Because if your back is not used to being trained, then that could be just, a new workout for your back.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying different things. I had when I was really busy during the pandemic, I had actually started doing some like, meal plans that were kind of like all macroed out and stuff. And so when I was eating that, I definitely was eating healthier. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see a lot of weight loss or anything. It was just I was eating healthier.
Right.
But yeah, I've been like trying to kind of like do different things to try to improve. I'm always trying to improve my situation like in so many different areas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about doing the digital sessions. Now I know from artists, producers, writers that you can create together when you're in the same space. You can feel each other's energy and you can bounce off of each other. Did you feel like it was harder to get into that digitally for you? Because I know you're always in the studio. So that must have been an immense change for you. I mean, I know that you're now talking about the benefits, but how was that when you first had to trigger that switch?
Me personally, I was used to working with people internationally before the pandemic. So I would do Zoom calls. It wasn't Zoom. We were using Skype.
Yeah.
So we were doing Skype calls and things like that, and writing.
So you were used to it.
I was used to it. The biggest difference that I noticed, it was nothing for me to adjust to because I was already used to it. I had a little system, but I noticed that people who weren't used to it had a harder time adjusting to it, and that changed kind of the quality of our sessions and the vibe a little bit because they weren't used to it and they needed some time for adjustment.
Right.
To get used to how this new thing is working. So for me, I was like, I already know how to do this.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've been pretty much, in my opinion, a vet in this industry already. You've been doing this for so long, and again, what impressed me the most is just knowing how much you've done without being at the forefront of fame. And I think that has its advantages and disadvantages, obviously. But can you tell us a little bit about how you discovered your talent for writing and singing, and how you made it your business, your income?
Well, as far as like singing and some sort of talent, when I was like very little at church, my mom has this funny story that I don't even remember. She told me this story when I was at church and I was like about 4. Okay. I was like 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. I think this was before I even was in kindergarten. I was like a preschool age. And so they would have choir and things like that at the church. And so instead of playing in the playground, I would like sit around the people learning their parts for different like, soprano, alto, bass, tenor, that sort of thing. Right. And then I would get real bossy at like 4 years old.
Wow.
And go around behind them, like listening to them, because I would learn them when, the choir teacher was like, instructor was telling everybody. Right. And then I would go and start calling people out.
Wow.
Like, oh, no, that's not the right note. You gotta do it.
So at 4, you already had an ear for,
I guess so.
who was on point.
This.
Yeah.
I don't remember this, but I was like real bossy when I was little. And I was like always up in like everybody else's business for no reason. And so apparently I thought I was a teacher, and I was going around telling other people what to do when I was like 4.
Right.
So they were like, hey, you should send her to like some kind of music school or some kind of like, I think she's like has a knack for this sort of thing. So maybe you should look into that. And my mom just, kind of brushed it off because she was used to me kind of like singing around the house, being noisy. Like I used to do radio shows by myself. Wow. I used to have like a little handheld tape recorder, and I used to be all of the entertainment by myself. I used to like be the DJ and announce the next song, and then I would sing the next song.
So now I know where your persona comes from.
So I would do all of that by myself and keep myself entertained for hours, like singing whatever I could remember from the latest songs. And just like, okay, and now we have like so-and-so coming up on the show. And then, so it was, I don't know why I did that. It was just kind of like fun to me. I remember doing that. So I guess I always had an interest in music. And when I was little, I begged my mom to get me piano lessons and guitar lessons. Right. And she got me piano lessons because I kept bothering her about, like, most people do not like piano lessons. And once I got into it,
piano lessons.
But I remember like being like 7 or 8, like seriously begging to get piano lessons. And she finally gave in and got somebody to teach me. And I remember being really excited. So yeah, I've always had kind of an interest in music growing up. And so the interest was always there. How I got into it professionally. Yeah, what was for you the defining moment where you felt like, oh, I can actually make this my income and do this for a living? I guess I would have to say it wasn't, that was always kind of like a goal. I wanted to get there. But I was really interested in just making the music. And just, it was a lot of fun for me. So it was really challenging. It was something that like took my mind off of things in a way that other things just didn't, Like, let's say you're having like, relationship problems or something like that. Like if you go and try to do your homework, you're still going to be distracted thinking like, why do you say that? Or why do you do that to me? Whatever. Yeah. But if you're singing something or if you're writing something and trying to do a really good job at it, like I learned that it completely takes your focus on whatever issue you're having. Yeah. And that was very that was valuable to me, because like then I don't have to think about this thing that's bothering me, like whether it's an issue with my parents or with some dude or whatever, school, whatever. So that's when I really started. So that's why I liked doing it. I professionally I started off by doing demos for a studio because I was always singing, and my friend she was doing demos for a songwriter. And when she actually her team, her and a few of her friends got signed. So because they were, recording at this professional studio and things like that. And so they didn't have anybody to do the demos. And so, I volunteered myself pretty quick. Oh, that's good. Like, that's how you do it. I could do, because I really like singing. You already know that. And so they were like, yeah, let's, we need somebody. So they did kind of like a audition in the studio. And then they were like, all right, okay, you're going to sing the demos now. So that's how I got my, I guess, close to professional start. Right. And how old were you at that time? I think I was like, I want to say I was like 19. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad 19, at all. 19, 20, something like that. And then I decided I was learning, I started joining songwriting clubs and MIDI clubs and things like that, and how to learn. And I learned a lot from the songwriter and producer that was doing the demos. I got to be in the studio, and I got to hang out a lot of other people doing it. And while I was hanging out, I was also learning it at the same time for myself.
Yeah.
So I was able to do a lot of things. And that's when I really realized, oh, I really wish I could do this as my job, you know, because I think, okay, this is like a lot of fun. I like it probably more than anything else that I was doing up to that point. So I was like, this is what I want to do. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I think it's great that when you set your mind to it, I mean, it kind of was from little on with you a given that you were going to do something with music, but then to pursue it. And this is why I do these talks, to, you know, have people talk about their journey on how they got to where they are. Because nowadays everybody thinks it's so easy, you know, it's they just think that if I'm just doing this or that, it'll happen for me. But most of the people that are successful in what they do have that journey and have had a lot of no's and had to pursue things themselves without waiting for something to fall into their lap. But for you, you know, you're not only working within your own territory, you branched out. You are international. You're on an international level and working with big international artists that may not necessarily be known over here, but at least in their country, in their territory. And that is something that I think is inspiring, because you don't think locally. A lot of Americans do, and you never had that. So how did you tell us, in short, because I have a lot more questions for you, how you went on from doing these demos to then starting the sessions, writing for people, getting your own publishing deals, and then branching out to international? How did that go?
Okay, so one thing I want to say about the last question is, like, I didn't know that I was going to do music. It was just a passion that I had that I really wanted to follow. Everybody thought that I was going to be an international lawyer, to be honest. They thought I was good. Yeah, they thought that was
Asian.
what my family, yeah, right? Like, so the music thing actually was not something like, oh, you're going to do this for your life. No, it was like, no, you're going to be a doctor, or you're going to be a lawyer. Right, or you're going to be something like that. Like,
That's the culture.
That is the culture. So I just want to make that clear. Anybody who's getting, like, you know, that kind of messaging from their culture, right? You know, it wasn't like that for me. Like, not like I was like good at music or anything like that. Like, I don't think I was good at all, you know? Right. And it was like very, you know, I'm constantly learning. I'm still learning. So it's a challenge, like, that you have to embrace every day, you know? So I just wanted to kind of clear that up.
No, you're absolutely right. Because what I meant with that is, if you feel like that as from child on, in my opinion, that would set the tone for your journey, but not necessarily supported by, you know, your family or how you grew up. But I think it was already instilled in you, you know, you bossing people around in church. Yeah, that's what I meant with that. Yeah.
Okay, and then what was the question again? I'm sorry.
So how did you get from, you know, pushing the demos or making those demos for the studio into getting into songwriting sessions yourself, you know, writing for artists, and then branching out international? How did that come about?
So the short answer is like hustle.
Well, no, that's good. See, hustle. This is what people want to know from this conversation. How was your hustle?
Okay, so pretty much I was like, this is what I thought. I was like, listen, I'm not the best at singing. I'm not the best at writing. I started late. I got a long way to go. I don't know anybody in the business. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? I really, really gotta, like, you know, make this happen somehow. But it's not gonna be spoon fed to me. Right. At all. So I was like, you know what? That's okay. And I did start to meet like one or two people, because I would seek them out, right? You know, and I would meet people and they would introduce me to people, and it was just networking. Yeah. It was just networking. I took every opportunity I could to meet somebody in the industry and to listen to what they had to say. And, you know, now I look back, I have a lot of mentors. I have a lot of people that gave me advice and, you know, at least try to like steer me in the right direction. And, you know, I didn't know any of them in the beginning. So it took a lot of seeking them out. It took a lot of, you know, finding the right balance between being annoying and being persistent, you know, not bothering people too much.
Right.
You know, because like, you know, and just be like a really like fun person to hang around with. Like,
yes. Very
and just
important.
going to a bunch of, you can go to like, I mean, pre-pandemic, go to a bunch of shows and meet people, go just get involved in the community.
Be seen, make yourself seen. Yeah.
Yeah, just, you know, hang out with people, get to know people. I mean, it's, you know, and so that was kind of how I met somebody that I still talk to today. I'm still close to today. He had a deal. He was a songwriter and he had a deal with Sony. And he was like, let me help you out. I think they're looking for new writers.
Right.
Send me your demos. And by this time I was already in Berkeley and I was learning how to write and produce with like a lot of talented people. And I had these demos and he was like, let me see if I could, you know, get you in front of them because he was signed. And then so from that point, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but like it was all about like targeting him. And to the point where it was like, okay, you said this, all right, and I'm gonna hold you to this, and like,
very good,
and I'm gonna like, you know, bother you like every week until this happens, you know. And so he was originally trying to do a co-op deal between him and Sony, but he got really busy, and I was bothering him so much, you know, within reason.
Right.
You know what? Let me just like link you guys up, and like you do it, like whatever, just, you know, have fun. And so that's kind of how I got my deal. He linked us and then they reviewed my songs. They liked it. And they thought there was a lot of potential there as a writer. So that's how I got signed.
And so he was kind of like, okay, let me just fix this for her so I can get her off my back.
Yes. And the thing is, I had to really like, I didn't want to like mess up like my possibility by being super annoying or anything like that, but I didn't want him to forget, you know what I'm saying?
But you already built that relationship where you knew to what extent you could hit him up. And
exactly.
So this is a recurring theme in the talks: relationships and building relationships.
Absolutely.
It's when I asked you what is your hustle, when you said it was a hustle, it's pretty much networking and building relationships. That's how you got there.
Relationships, and the closer you are with people, the more they're going to do for you. Like obviously you're gonna, and like when I met him, I didn't think like, oh, he's got this, so let me approach him. So like I genuinely like we ended up getting closer because his friend, we had met, I had said hi, you know, and you know, exchanged contact info. He ends up going to the coffee shop that I go to all the time, and I always kept running into him there, you know? And it's just like, this is my coffee shop.
That worked out.
This is my coffee shop. And like, and then it kind of turned into a thing where like, if he was going to be there for a while, he would just give me a call and be like, hey, you come to the coffee shop?
Right,
you know?
right.
And so before he even did that, like, there was like, I think about like 2 years or 2 or 3 years that we hung out at a coffee shop, you know, just chilling and talking about music and life and me getting advice from him and things like that. So, yeah, like it's all about the relationships.
When you were upgrading the app, I was telling people that, you know, I get a lot of people hitting me up that want me to interview them on here. Without even building the relationship first. It's not even, hey, Pay, I love what you do. No, it's like, hey, how can I get an interview? And hey, you should have me. And that is the times we're living in. This social media age that we live in is really quick on, hey, this, hey, that. But what people don't understand in this industry is that you have to not only bring value to somebody, but also support the person you expect to be put on, or you expect support or, you know, relationships from a person. Then you have to be able to give that same thing back. And it's something that's so lost nowadays to a lot of people, that that's why this is a recurring theme, because everybody that I have on here talks about, oh, I got on because, you know, building relationships, you know, comes down to that. Like, you know, somebody, you build a team, you support each other. It's not only like you said, I don't hit a person up like, hey, he can do this for me, but you're also thinking, what can I bring to the table for these people? You have to know what value you have for them and their business. And
exactly.
so,
I feel like the best, even if you don't really, you know, hang out with them, or I don't have time to hang out like that as much anymore. But even if you know, like, what is the exchange? Like, what value could I bring to them? And what value, you know, could they bring to me? And what could we make something that's bigger than, you know, what we can do each on our own? And if the sum of that is going to be bigger, then you're going to have, obviously, a relationship where it's beneficial to both of you.
It's a mutual beneficial relationship where everybody wins. And so, okay, going back into your career, great that you built that relationship where you got put on. Also great to mention that it's a balance between stalking somebody and reminding somebody.
You
know, you have to have somewhat of people knowledge, so to speak. You have to be able to feel out what you can and can't do with people, and you also have to respect their schedule and their agenda, because people are just generally busy and they don't necessarily have time to put you on. But I do agree, if somebody has said something, I stick to their word too. Like, hey, you know, hope all is well. You remember this conversation? I would really do a follow-up on that. Something like that. And I do that too, because it's not, most of the time, if somebody really said they were going to do something, it's not intentional that they forget. It's just, you know, you have to remind them. So, okay, then you got your deal.
I did.
And you started writing for people. What was for you the artist that you started working with that you were really in awe of and that you felt like you could learn from? Like, wow, I'm in a session with this person. Who was that?
Honestly, I feel like, I just feel there's so much to learn from everybody. I can't even like pinpoint somebody, you know. I think that every songwriter and every artist and every producer, you know, definitely has something to, you know, I don't know everything, you know, and if I learn one or two things from them, because people are different and everybody thinks kind of differently. You learn from me a lot.
Yeah, Alonso. Yes. Thank you, Alonso.
You know, so I think there's something to learn from everybody. And so I'd have to say everybody I worked with, I've learned something from. Yeah.
And were there any people that you feel like, wow, this is a moment? I'm trying to get you to name drop somebody. Give somebody their flowers because they really inspired you more than everybody else. Or they gave you a moment like you felt like, now I'm really getting the best out of me because this person is getting it out of me. Or the session.
What kind of moment? Like, there's so many moments. Like,
you've done a lot, so I can imagine you have a bunch of these moments. Like, you know, when you're in a session and you feel almost like you have an outer body experience because you reached the peak of your creativity that you've never reached before.
I guess I don't go in like. I guess I haven't experienced that.
That could be it.
You know, there is a lot of, you know, I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of anxiety sometimes when I'm meeting new people, unless it's like a warm welcome, you know. Like a lot of times you're just, you know, trying to figure out, you know, how a person is, or how an artist is. If they're not an artist, let's say it's like a producer, like a really established songwriter or producer, then there's I don't want to be like this, but there's like a lot of like chatter that starts happening. Like, ooh, what are they gonna think? Oh, I hope like they like what I do because I respect and admire what they're doing. So, you know, hopefully like they like and, you know, respect what I do. And sometimes the first session will be the most like, I hope it's cool. And then after that, like, I'm like, all right, cool. They like what I did.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So I'm not usually having like, oh my God, this is an out of body experience.
Well, that's I guess we're gonna wait if you ever have that at one point, and you'll remember this conversation like, oh, this is what Pay meant.
Oh, the out of body experience actually came when I saw the music video. Oh. For the song that was kind of charting on the Billboard. Right. That was my personal out of body. It did not feel real. It was like when the music video was done and it came out, I saw it in New York and like on YouTube, like on a computer screen. So it was just like watching every other YouTube video. Yeah. In the world, you know, like, okay, this is a YouTube video, but then I had something to do with that, and I was like, oh my God, it doesn't feel real. Like this is this feels like completely like different. Yeah, like,
I can imagine that the first time, especially. I mean, I'm not an artist.
It still doesn't feel real. Like when people send me that was the most out of body experience music wise that I had. Right. When somebody sends stuff like from like a Houston club or something, that I'm miles away from, like, yo, your song is coming out in the club and like everybody's liking it, and they send me like a video on their phone. Yeah. I'm just like, okay, this is crazy. So those are the kind of things that feel more out of body to me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can imagine that if that starts happening again, that you'll still have that same feeling, because, I mean, every time is special, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. I think so, yeah.
So I talk about lessons as well in this conversation. What are for you some of the biggest mistakes that you've made that turned into big lessons business-wise?
Oh, well, here go a long list. Okay.
You can name one or two. Well, one is fine. So,
I would say, lessons. Okay, so mistakes and lessons, I would say, is be careful who you invest your time into, and who you because like your time and energy, like you can't get that back. You know what I mean? You know, so be careful what situations and what places, you know, you really pour into your energy and because when you're doing something like music, it's something that's hopefully very passionate to you. You know, you're pouring in your heart, your soul, your time, everything. Like a lot of people who are in it 100% are very unbalanced people. It's like, it's not like, okay, I'm going to work for like, you know, this many hours, and then I'm going to go do this, and then I'm going to do something like family oriented. And it's just like, yo, this can take over your life. Right. You know? Right. So it could be very unbalanced. Yeah. So just be careful who, like, what kind of characters, you know, you're putting your energy into.
Yeah, feel out who they are first before putting your all into it or start working together.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I think, you know, you have to have a bit of a balance of both. Yeah. You want to work with people that can either create a situation or get so much momentum going that you can either create the situation yourself. Yeah. Or that you have some kind of situation already in place. That's going to make it easier for you to come up, you know? Yeah. For people out there. Yeah, but if, you know, you could have the nicest people in the world and they're not motivated and you love working with them, but, you know, it's also, you're trying to be an entrepreneur. You're trying to have a business. So
it's a business. Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah.
So you got to have that kind of balance. Yeah. And a lot of times too, people who are, not everybody, obviously, but people who run a business and who are doing like bigger deals and who have leverage, sometimes they misuse that or they take advantage of that. Yeah. And that's something for everybody to watch out for. And sometimes, even if you know, sometimes you might have to take it for a little bit, depending on where you are in your career, you know.
But just be aware of it.
Decision. Yeah, that's a personal decision that you're going to have to make.
Yeah, and if you're aware of it, then you know when to stop and why you are dealing with it. Then you can see the value out of it for that moment. But yeah, don't do it if you don't know what it's going to bring for you, other than, you know, maybe draining your energy and time.
Exactly.
That's a good one. Yes. I know that you probably, I don't know how many interviews you do, but this is probably a question that has been asked to you before. Who and what inspires you when you're writing?
When I'm writing, I usually, you know, content-wise, I usually take stories from my life or from my friends. So, you know, if you tell me too much stuff, that might end up in a song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't name you, like,
right, but the story,
yeah. But you know, you'll be listening to a song and it's like, this sounds like a lot like my last relationship. Like and sometimes people enjoy that, you know?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't mind.
So I try to, you know, take from, you know, stories that I can relate to, stories that I've seen my friends go through. Sometimes I write about things that are, you know, inspiring to me, like what I wish would be. Sometimes I write, when I'm working with another artist, it's mainly about being a conduit for their story.
Right.
So at that point, it's more technical aspects and like emotional, like how can I help this person get across what they want to say in the best way, in the most, you know, yeah, pathetic. Yeah, that's a great example. You know, how I can, you know, because that's in that situation, that's my role. My role is to help them shine the best that they can shine and bring
their
out
story,
the message that they want to say, and to do it in, you know, whatever kind of genre that they want to do it in. Yeah.
So are there people that you still have on your bucket list that you would want to work with?
Absolutely.
Can you mention a few? Or name a few?
I think
so the reason I ask this is because I like to speak things into existence with my guests. So when there's people that they still want to work with, they have a bucket list, we're now calling this, you know, out. So just name a few and it'll be in the universe.
You know, I would like to work with Ariana Grande's camp.
Alonso says Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. Yeah, I love Mariah Carey. That's one of my biggest influences.
Well, we're going to speak it into existence. You're going to work with Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey. I'm like, yeah, but what I'm most interested right now is kind of, you know, working on releasing my music.
Right.
You know, and I feel really lucky. I feel like I'm already working with a lot of people that I would love to be working with. So I just have to do more with them. And I love the people that I'm working with, and I'm very fortunate that way, you know?
Yeah, that's good to acknowledge as well, because a lot of people don't celebrate their wins and they're only looking for the next step. But it's also good to look at your own success and celebrate that, and be grateful for all the things you've already accomplished.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for everybody that I have worked with, that I am working with. And like I was saying, I love learning in life. And, you know, I try to not take things, you know, I have a tendency sometimes to, like, I could take things personally, but I try to reflect back on that and kind of see, well, did that have any validity?
Right.
Where's that coming from? Is there something that I can improve upon? You know?
That's really good. Yeah. And when is your new music coming out? I'm excited.
So we have a kind of like a phone compilation music video coming out for the last one.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited about that. The goal was, I don't know if you heard the last song, but it's about rejection and things like that, and people in situationships and that sort of thing. So I wanted to get the message out that anybody going through that, you're not alone.
Right.
And don't feel alone. And it's like kind of like a universal thing that everybody goes through.
Yes, very much.
So what I wanted to do is I started letting people know that I want you to do kind of like a phone kind of footage and then send it to me. So if anybody else is interested, we're still editing. So
cool.
I'm gonna put it together in like a kind of like a compilation and pandemic style, and it's gonna be the music video.
Oh, that's cool. And when is that? When are you planning to release that? Do you have a timeline? Like, I don't need a specific date, but next month, in 2 months, or?
Oh, no. It's going to be this month. It's
okay, cool.
Within the next few weeks. So that's cool. I'm probably going to release another song this month. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to release.
Is it is it leading towards an EP or album, or is it just singles that you're going to release?
Right now, it's just singles.
Mm-hmm.
And then, since I have different modes that I kind of go into, like, you familiar with the ratchet, right?
Yes,
the
yes.
hip-hop kind of
oh
thing.
my gosh, I've seen the side.
Hip-hop. Yeah, so I got that side, and then I got like this like sensitive R&B side. So I think after is gonna be like a mix of those two. So I might put the ratchet ones into an EP and then the other ones together, or I could just throw them all in an album.
Do an A and a B side, something like that.
Like an A, B side, yeah. And then like, you guys figure it out. This is the hype feel, and this is like when you're at when you're at home,
Right. So. I have a question from someone. I have a few questions. Okay, so let me see. There's a question from Jimmy. What was your dream job as a child? It was not a lawyer.
Okay, this is gonna be kind of like funny. But okay, Jimmy, this is like what my mom told me, right? So when I was really little, my dream job was apparently to be the lady at McDonald's that gets you your ice cream, right?
And you were what, 4 years old?
I was like, I don't know, like 5 or 6, but she said I would look with so much awe at this person who had so much power
over the ice cream
to run the ice cream machine and then give it to me. I was like, I told my mom, like, oh, when I grow up, I want to be just like her.
That's funny. And but let me go into Jimmy's question a little bit more. So that was when you were a child, but when we go into teenager, what was your dream job as a teenager?
So I really thought I was going to be a lawyer, to be honest.
Oh, really? Did you try to go to law school?
I took the LSAT and I got in. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a pretty good score on my LSAT. I think I got like a 161.
I have no clue about that.
I think I was a 161, 163, and that's not like the best score, but that's like a pretty good score.
But then your music career started taking off, so.
Yeah, and I probably was, and I did work at lawyers' offices, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Fun fact, if you guys didn't know, if I wasn't doing music right now,
you'd be a lawyer.
I think I would. Like the other kind of like job that I would probably be interested outside of the music industry is probably being a lawyer. Yeah. And
would you be an entertainment lawyer or? Not necessarily.
Sure, why not? I figure like that's still kind of like within the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
But as an overlap, yeah. But anything outside, I think first and foremost, now that I am a musician and songwriter, and everything is gonna be music related.
Right.
And if I took like a left turn, that would be like law. Yeah.
Right. No, it may make your parents proud, but
I mean, I was a paralegal. I worked as a clerk and as an intern in a law firm. Like, yeah, so they were really disappointed, obviously, when I went music. But yeah.
Yeah, so were mine, but they got over it. And my dad is a musician, so he was eventually excited for me to reach things that he couldn't reach as a musician. So that, that was the support I got eventually. As we are going towards the end of our fantastic interview, where we've learned so much about TINAMINA, and we're excited to find out more about you through your new songs and the video that you're going to release. What is a life motto or an advice that you live by that you want to give out to the people that are watching this?
I really would like, so I am trying to change my fixed mindset into a growth mindset. which is very difficult. I think my setting, my natural setting,
Your default mode,
my default or whatever is a fixed mindset, and I think that does not serve anyone, and I think that's terrible. So I think my motto is to have a growth mindset, keep learning, keep expanding, keep going after things, and just keep trying. Yeah, because not doing that is just not serving yourself. No, you know, I agree. You could be scared, you could be like, oh, I'm not going to be the best at it. Do it anyway. You know, give it a try. And that's what I would say to everyone. And then you can at least say you tried it. If it doesn't work out, you can move on to the next, but you don't ever have to wonder what if. Exactly. I think is like keep learning, maintain a growth mindset. And if you don't have that naturally as your default, like me, then do what you have to do to keep that in the forefront of your mind. Like if you got to watch Tony Robbins, if you got to watch like YouTube, if you have to watch things that really, because, you know, after a while, if you don't feed your mind, it's going to go back into a default. Yeah. So do what you have to do. Yeah, find the information and motivate yourself. And that is exactly why I also do these talks because when this pandemic hit, everybody fell back and was like, what are we going to do now? We can't do anything. So I figured this is at least a little contribution that I can make to creative people or people in general to keep them inspired and motivated for a little hour where they may hear tips and tricks and advice from others on how to maintain sane and mentally healthy in this situation in the world. So thank you for wanting to be a guest and contribute as well with all your value. Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And I hope this was helpful to people out there. Oh, yeah, it was definitely helpful. And to all the songwriters out there, hey, you know, actually, TINAMINA, you're now that person that may get stalked. You know, you may have been that person that was stalking to get somewhere, but I'm sure you're now in a position where you are that person for some people. So. Oh, also, I want to share with everybody that I partnered up with a sync agency. So that's the latest venture that I've been working congratulations on. Thank you. So if you have music that is done and, you know, mixed properly that you feel very confident about, you're an artist, then please, you know, feel free to hit me up and send some music over as well. We're working to get music into, you know, TV shows, films and advertisements and things like that. Does it have to be unreleased? Or can it does not have to be. No, okay. It could be released. I'll be sending you some music then. yeah, it could be released or unreleased, just as long as it's like ready to go. Yes. Like if they wanted to use this on a TV show today, like this is like ready to go. This is like don't send me demos. Stuff. I'm sending you stuff, girl. I got your email. You'll be finding some stuff in your email tomorrow. Send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me. Yeah, everybody hit me up on DMs. You know where to find me. Yes. AKA TINAMINA everywhere. You know, whatever. It's the same thing everywhere. So come find me, talk to me. Yes. All that. Awesome. If you don't follow me. Yeah. That's good to know. Follow AKA TINAMINA. Be on the lookout for her new projects and hit her up if you think you got the music that should be played on TV, film, advertising, whatever. So yeah, thank you so much for being a guest. I'm happy that we got to catch up a little bit. It's good to see that you're still living your life and doing your thing. I'm so grateful to have met you. Alonzo, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And shout out to DC. I see you. And I know that we may not talk every day, but hey, we know where to find each other when we need something or when we want to catch up. So I'll be back in LA as soon as the world opens up. So yeah, for sure. Yes, we gotta eat some sushi, girl. Where that collabo? Oh, you know what? Yes, that's. Where's that skinny mini at? We need to do that. We need to. You know what? We should really schedule that, but we're doing that off the record. Yeah, but I'm definitely still down to do that for real. Thank you so much, girl. I wish you a great day, and I'll be hitting you up in the email. All right, sounds good. All right, bye. Bye. Alrighty then. So. I'm not sure how to get her out of here. Can you remove yourself? Instagram has changed this whole situation. Normally I could just,
boot somebody out, but I couldn't anymore. Oh, that sounded so bad. Can you please get yourself out of here? No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I said, follow aka TINAMINA everywhere, and be on the lookout for her new songs and stuff. I have heard all of the stuff. Well, not all of the stuff, but most of it. And so I'm very excited. She's finally going to drop something. If you want to rewatch all the other motivating, inspiring talks, please go to my IGTV. Follow me if you don't follow me. Pay Fresh on every platform. And be on the lookout for more inspiring guests these coming weeks, every Monday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And thank you much for tuning in. Hope you guys stay safe and healthy and have a blessed day. Bye.